Hello, my lovers. Welcome to another Character Tuesday. Yes, so I am here with you guys this week for us to get into character. Last week, we spoke identity. And this week, we're going to be focusing on character development in a series versus standalone novels. I know everybody is so excited. All you creatives out there are very excited for us to delve into the world of series and the world of novels. But before we get in, let's just do a really quick breakdown of developing your characters in series versus novels. So developing characters is a critical part of writing both series and standalone novels. However, the approach to character development can differ depending on the format you choose. In a series, characters need to be developed over time. This allows them to grow and change as the story progresses. Rather, in contrast, in a standalone novel, character development should be focused on a single arc that is resolved by the end of the story. Now, for some writers, it may come easier to create a single story arc and work with that. Whereas there are other writers who want to stretch themselves creatively, so they prefer to work with a series that gives them that ongoing opportunity to develop the characters as well as to create different facets of the characters while the series goes along. Of course, remaining committed to the main characteristics and the main attributes of your character. Alright, so regardless of the format though, creating believable and compelling characters is key to engaging readers and driving your story forward. So let's jump into the 5 pro tips that's going to guide us on how to develop authentic characters both in series and standalone novels. Okay, lovers, ready to go? Alright, so this week's 5 pro tips are: pro tip number 1. Time is key. Now, I know you've always heard me talk about timing and time, but in a series, it is important to develop characters over time, allowing them to grow and change from book to book. In a standalone novel, character development should be focused on that single arc, as I said previously, which is going to be resolved at the end of the story. Now, I did make mention that for some persons it's easier, but what I do find, and this is a pro tip within a pro tip, and it's something I'm currently working on, for some persons, writing a novel can get really complicated and complex. So, as a first-time author, it's easier to create what we like to call an anthology, which is a collection of short stories, to make it easier for you to be able to create those characters. If you're not ready for that long stretch of a novel yet, then that's a perfect place for your indie publishers, that is, to start off, and your first-time authors, and independent writers to start off, including first-time authors as well. It's always awesome to start off with an anthology, which is a collection of short stories for you. So that's a pro tip within a pro tip. All right, on to pro tip number 2. Consistency is key. In a series, it's important to maintain consistency in a character's development over multiple books. Whereas for a standalone novel, you only need to maintain this consistency for that particular book. Now again, some persons may think, oh, it's easier to do a novel, let's not get into series. But remember, the series offers you the opportunity to break up, I would say, different novels. So in essence, what you are doing is that you are taking on the gamut of a series when you have several novels. However, your novels may not be related or interconnected. So that's what makes the difference with a series and a novel. A novel is independent. You can have several novels or collections of novels. All right, so on to pro tip number 3. Create new challenges. Now, there's nothing I love better or more than a new challenge. So in a series, it is important to create new challenges for your characters to face in order to continue their development over the course of the series. With a standalone novel, however, it's a little different. Your challenges are confined to the storyline that exists in your particular piece for that novel, of course. All right, so on to pro tip number 4. Make sure characters are well rounded. Now, this is a given whether you're creating a story that's a novel or a series. In both series and standalone novels, characters should be well rounded and complex, with strengths and weaknesses, as this helps the writer, that's us, to create engaging material that will always keep their readers engaged, but more importantly, will keep them coming back and get you that bestseller quality. Okay. All right. So on to the final pro tip. Pro tip number 5. Use character development to reflect themes. Now, in both series and standalone novels, character development can reflect the overall themes of the story. In standalone novels, character development should reflect the themes in a condensed and focused way, while in series, it can be more gradual and nuanced. In both cases, it is important to align character development with the overarching themes of the story for a cohesive and impactful narrative. All right, my labbers. So before we go, there is one quick thing I wanted you to remember. This is going to be your point to remember. Developing characters in a series is like a marathon, while in standalone novels, it's a sprint. But in both, keeping character development aligned with themes is the key to creating a truly unforgettable story. So my labbers, go forth today, create those awesome characters that will give you best-selling quality, but more than anything else, ensure that your characters are very well created, whether you're writing a series or you're writing a standalone novel. The choice is yours. Thank you for tuning in today, labbers, and have yourselves a great rest of your Character Tuesday. Love, peace, and light. Until next week. Mwah. Bye, labbers.